gentlemen, Nick here, and welcome to my review of A Christmas Carol 2019 miniseries, Episode 2. So after a better than I expected Episode 1, and knocking down my worries that a 3-hour miniseries of this 3-hour adaptation of the book is a bit too long, I actually liked Episode 1. I thought it did itself very well, even though it was completely set up. It's the ending with Marley's ghost making a visit. It was pretty cool visual effects, by the way. I forgot to mention that. Pretty cool visual effects, although it didn't do the Jacob Marley appearing in the door handle bit. It was more of the knocking handle, which is a shame. I would have preferred that. I was expecting them to do a very good job with that, with the scares of that. But anyway, on to Episode 2. I do have to say this miniseries does differ a lot from the book quite a bit in places, and to give its own spin on things. So let's see how it goes down. Okay, well, after Marley comes to see Scrooge at the end of Episode 1, Scrooge is now waiting for the ghost of Christmas past. So Episode 1 is basically building up to Marley's ghost, which I didn't think at the time would have worked, but after watching the episode, it was actually, yeah, that was good. So, Episode 2, this is just going to be in the past, and then Episode 3 will be in the present and future. But yet, one episode is not enough for the past, as we've still got to go into a little bit of the next episode as well. So, the Ghost of Christmas Past comes and shows some Scrooge. This is where we get the darker stuff of the series, because we get some pretty nasty, horrible memories of Scrooge, Scrooge's past, and past actions that will go on to haunt him. We do get some of his nicer memories, though. So, differs from the book that in this episode, Scrooge was apparently, his father got broke, and he was a bit of a fucker. There's no sugarcoating. He is a cunt. He's way more of a cunt than Scrooge ever is. Even kills one Scrooge's pet mouse just so he can get this little bell on, just get the little bell off the creature. What a cunt. And he sends Scrooge to boarding school and makes a deal with a headmaster to say, letting Scrooge be supposedly sexually abused by the headmaster, potentially. Yow. That doesn't sound good. That sounds not good at all. Thankfully, we are shown a day where Scrooge is rescued by his sister. Now, I thought his sister was younger in the book. Certainly in the Muppets film, she was supposedly younger. Or was it the 2009 film? Or both. She was supposedly younger. But here she's older. And a lot more badass. Not badass, strong female character. She even gets a gun and whips it at the headmaster and threatens him not to follow them. Otherwise, she will shoot him. And her defense will have her brother tell everyone what he did. So, damn, Lottie, Lottie Scrooge, is a great character. And we're going to see her again in Episode 3 as a older character, older Lottie. Anyway, but Scrooge doesn't see that bit, so that's a part of his past that something he missed, which, if he had, he might have been a better person. And then after that, we then see Scrooge and Marley's businesses prosper, but yet they're doing some double dealings and being a bit prickish, being pretty bastards. And then we also see people in tragedies and getting killed, and some horrific moments, some nasty moments. And yeah, this is all to encourage by the Ghost of Christmas Past to encourage Scrooge to get to understand where he went wrong and to get better. And we are seeing that Scrooge is starting to learn, but he's still holding on to his old ways a little bit and using arguments as a defense. And then at the very end, we hear about Tim Cratchit's problems with his lungs, and 2 years after his birth, Mrs. Cratchit tries to ask Scrooge for a loan so they can pay for the operation. And instead of, Scrooge gives her £10 and says if she'll come to his apartment on Christmas Day, he'll give her the other 20 as a Christmas present. So what it's implying is that Scrooge wants Mrs. Cratchit to come round and either have sex or do sexual activities or strip, or at least, or just do some stuff as he wants. Yeah, that's what it's implied. And we'll find out what actually happens in episode 3. But the ending of this episode does leave the audience uncomfortable. And whilst I think this terrible thing mystery does linger over the audience and also over Scrooge and how ashamed of it he is, it is quite a questionable thing. It does get resolved in episode 3, though. On the whole, I think episode 2 is a bit of a step down in terms of the story. I just don't think it's quite that interesting. I like how we're going back into the past and seeing Scrooge's past. That was always good. But the new angles of sexual abuse in the past is a bit... But the stuff in the mine and with the people Scrooge screwed over and Scrooge himself, it does well there. But after watching the episode, I was a bit worried about where they were going to go with that ending. On the whole, I think A Christmas Carol's 2019 episode 2 is a good episode, but I think where the story differing so much from the novel, and not even in the fact it's trying to make it dark, and including these extra elements like Scrooge's past having the sexual harassment. I mean, in the middle, it's starting to change a lot. It does mention his fiancée a little and the life he would have had if he had spent more time with her and less in the office. But at the same time, it does also feel like a unique take on the story, but it does kind of miss a little stuff out that could maybe have made it a little bit better. I think it's good, but I think the original stuff is fine as it was, and that ending is yikes. So anyway, I'm going to give this episode a 7 out of 10.
So here it is, Merry Christmas, everybody's having fun. Look to the future now, it's only just begun.
I liked it, but I think episode 1 was better, and I think episode 3 will be better as well. Yeah, it's okay. It's good, but there's some issues with it. And I didn't enjoy the writing as much as episode 1's, even though there's a lot more going on, and thankful for that. Anyway, so that's it from me. Thank you for watching. Next time we'll be taking a look at episode 3, the final episode. And can this series redeem itself from the sins of the past with the present and future? And, well, we still got a little bit of the past to look forward to. In fact, about the first quarter of an hour is the past, and then you've got some present, and then a little bit of the future, and then the wrap-up. So, we'll see how episode 3 goes. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Future now, it's only just begun. So here it is, Merry Christmas, everybody's having fun. It's great. Look to the future now, it's only just begun.
Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Nicholas Payne Retro YouTube channel.
So, after a pretty better than I expect. So after a better than I expected first episode, where we actually, despite what my initial thoughts of it possibly not working at 3 hours because it's too bloody long, actually, despite my thoughts of, after an episode, I do have to say episode 2 does, again, episode 3 as well, all 3 episodes, he implies sexual intercourse or sexual, not necessarily having sex, but sexual, just that make stripping or yeah. And whilst that's good to leave audiences on the edge, and whilst I think trying giving this sort of thing of what does he do? Yeah, not as much.